Jacob Syndrome, Things You Should Know, Questions and Answers, by Rumi Michael Lee. Introduction. I would like to thank and congratulate you for listening to this book, Jacob Syndrome, Things You Should Know, Questions and Answers. This book will help you understand, revise, and have a good general knowledge and keywords of Jacob Syndrome. Part 1. 1. What is Jacob Syndrome? Jacob Syndrome is the presence of an extra Y chromosome. 2. What is a chromosome? A chromosome is a long DNA molecule that contains the genetic material. 3. What is a gene? A gene is a fragment of DNA. 4. Is Jacob Syndrome a genetic condition? Yes, Jacob Syndrome is a genetic condition. 5. Is Jacob Syndrome mostly inherited? No, Jacob Syndrome is not mostly inherited. 6. What is mutation? Mutation is a change or alteration in DNA sequence. 7. What is a cell? A cell is the basic structural and functional unit of the organism. 8. How many chromosomes are there in a cell in the human body? There are 46 chromosomes in a cell in the human body. 9. What are the normal pairs of chromosomes in the human body? There are 23 pairs of chromosomes in the human body. 10. What are other names given to Jacob Syndrome? Other names given to Jacob Syndrome are YY syndrome, XYY karyotype 47, and XYY syndrome. 11. What are the sex chromosomes? The sex chromosomes are the X and Y chromosomes. Part 2. 1. Does Jacob Syndrome affect only males? Yes, Jacob Syndrome affects only males. 2. What are the signs and symptoms of Jacob Syndrome? The signs and symptoms of Jacob Syndrome are behavioral issues, speech difficulties, unusually tall, learning disabilities, macrodontia, macrocephaly, pes planus, hypertelorism, clinodactyly, large testes, trembling hands, etc. 3. Are the signs and symptoms of Jacob Syndrome the same in every person? No, the signs and symptoms of Jacob Syndrome are not the same in every person. Signs and symptoms vary. 4. What is macrodontia? Macrodontia is large teeth. 5. What is macrocephaly? Macrocephaly means a large head size. 6. What is pes planus? Pes planus is flat feet. 7. What is hypertelorism? Hypertelorism is an abnormal distance between two parts of the body. 8. What is ocular hypertelorism? Ocular hypertelorism is an abnormal distance between the eyes. 9. What is clinodactyly? Clinodactyly is an abnormally curved finger or toe. 10. What is dyslexia? Dyslexia is a disorder that causes learning difficulties. Part 3. 1. What are complications of Jacob Syndrome? The complications of Jacob Syndrome include hypotonia, scoliosis, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. 2. What is hypotonia? Hypotonia is a weak muscle tone. 3. What is scoliosis? Scoliosis is an abnormal curvature of the spine. 4. What is aneuploidy? Aneuploidy is an abnormal number of chromosomes. 5. What is the aneuploidy in Jacob Syndrome? The aneuploidy in Jacob Syndrome is the Y chromosome. 6. What is meiosis? Meiosis is cell division. 7. What is nondisjunction? Nondisjunction is an error that occurs during cell division. 8. Can Jacob Syndrome be caused by nondisjunction in male meiosis? Yes, Jacob's syndrome can be caused by non-disjunction in male meiosis. 9. Can Jacob's syndrome be caused by non-disjunction in female meiosis? Yes, Jacob's syndrome can be caused by non-disjunction in female meiosis. 10. What is oogenesis? Oogenesis is the synthesis of the female gamete. 11. Oogenesis is also known as oogenesis is also known as ovogenesis. 12. What is spermatogenesis? Spermatogenesis is the creation of the male gamete. 13. What is the male gamete? The male gamete is sperm. 14. What is the female gamete? The female gamete is the ovum. Part 4. 1. What is the diagnosis of Jacob's syndrome? The diagnosis of Jacob's syndrome are chromosome analysis, amniocentesis, and chorionic villus sampling, CVS. 2. What is chromosome analysis? Chromosome analysis is a test that analyzes the number of chromosomes and structure of chromosomes. 3. What is a karyotype? A karyotype is a test that examines the chromosomes of an individual. 4. What is amniocentesis? Amniocentesis is a medical test that involves taking a sample of the amniotic fluid in a pregnant woman. 5. What is chorionic villus sampling, CVS? Chorionic villus sampling is a medical procedure that involves taking a tissue sample from the placenta for test purposes. 6. What is a phenotype? A phenotype is the physical trait or characteristics of an organism. 7. Give examples of phenotypes. Examples of phenotypes include hair color, eye color, etc. 8. What is a genotype? A genotype is the complete collection of genes of the individual. The genotype determines the phenotype of an individual. 9. What is the most common genotype for a person with Jacob's syndrome? The most common genotype for a person with Jacob's syndrome is XYY. 10. Is it possible that most people have Jacob's syndrome without knowing? Yes, it is possible that most people have Jacob's syndrome without knowing. Part 5. 1. What is the cure for Jacob's syndrome? Actually, there is no cure for Jacob's syndrome. 2. Is there a specific treatment for Jacob's syndrome? No, there is no specific treatment for Jacob's syndrome. 3. Can Jacob's syndrome be treated? Yes, Jacob's syndrome can be treated according to the symptoms. 4. What are the treatments for Jacob's syndrome? Treatments for Jacob's syndrome may include speech therapy, therapy to aid learning, physical therapy, educational therapy, etc. 5. Can people with Jacob's syndrome lead a normal life? Yes, people with Jacob's syndrome can lead a normal life. 6. Can Jacob's syndrome be transferred sexually? No, Jacob's syndrome cannot be transferred sexually. 7. Could a person with Jacob's syndrome still be fertile? Yes, a person with Jacob's syndrome could still be fertile. 8. How is Jacob's syndrome prevented? Jacob's syndrome cannot be prevented. Part 6. 1. Is the extra Y chromosome in all the cells in a person with Jacob's syndrome? No, not all the time. The extra Y chromosome may not be in all the cells in a person with Jacob's syndrome. 2. When a person has the extra Y chromosome in some of the cells and not all the cells, it is called. When a person has the extra Y chromosome in some of the cells and not all the cells, it is called mosaicism. 3. Can Jacob's syndrome be caused by the father? Yes, Jacob's syndrome can be caused by the father. 4. Can Jacob's syndrome be caused by the mother? No, Jacob's syndrome cannot be caused by the mother? 5. Why can't Jacob's syndrome be caused by the mother? Jacob's syndrome cannot be caused by the mother because females don't have the Y chromosome. 6. Why can Jacob's syndrome be caused only by the father? Jacob's syndrome can be caused only by the father because males have the Y chromosome. 7. How many Y chromosome must a father, male, donate in order for Jacob's syndrome to occur? In order for Jacob's syndrome to occur, the father must donate at least 2 Y chromosomes. Conclusion. Thank you again for listening to this book. I hope it has helped you in your journey to understanding Jacob's syndrome.